We are Five Alive, and I am Bobby T.
And I'm Martin.
And today we're talking about WWE's Great Balls of Fire.
It is a Raw-based pay-per-view.
Just so dumb. All right, Martin. So today we're going to talk about Great Balls of Fire, the card where we think you gotta fire it out and say it 'cause it's so dumb.
It's hack at this point to hate the name Great Balls of Fire, but
it's the worst, man.
Yeah.
It really is. So
all right, let's go through them.
All right, first match: Goldust versus R-Truth.
Oh my God! I mean, I guess it's nice that they're getting a blow off, but really they're blowing it off at this pay-per-view. I mean, it's understandable because no one cares about this feud, but
Goldust cares.
Yeah,
I think R-Truth cares.
That's
pretty much it. That's it.
Are their respective mothers alive?
I don't
Because they would be the only other two.
Well, R-Truth is 49 years old.
He is
no, I'm
super
sorry,
old.
94. I read it wrong right here. That dude is old.
He's mega old,
but he's unbelievably talented.
He's still quite
chugging.
talented. I don't hate them. I just don't like this feud.
I really don't either. I was hoping they'd either get the titles. And they could have just been transition champions, and then they could go from there. I didn't need to see this.
Yeah.
I was happy with the way things were going. All right, next up, a feud that I know that you are very uninterested in is Big Kaz versus Enzo Amore.
You are correct. You told me last week that Raw was good, and it ended with that, and I'm like, what did you see that was good?
I figured you would be excited to see Enzo Amore getting kicked in the face.
I mean, I've seen it so often.
No, not like this.
No, he took it hard, that one.
If you look close, actually, on the Raw, you can see tears. I'm not even joking. I really had to pause it and look close. You could really see the tears. They did a good job with it.
They did a good job of it, but I mean, where's the end game of this?
I don't really know.
Are you pushing Cass as a single? And if you're pushing Cass as a single, there's so many. He's not a good heel. Or at least as far as we've seen.
I mean...
I don't think he could be a good heel.
As I saw this was happening on Raw, it's about to break down, here it comes, I was like, well, what's he going to do without Enzo? He's a shit promo. And truth is, he's not. That lead-in, all of his, I hate you, that you embarrass me, all of that was really well done. So
I would never think he's a shit promo. I just... he doesn't excite me at all.
He was stuck with saying 3 lines and then whatever he could pick up off of Wikipedia.
And just meh.
When he would come out, it'd be so good. They'd be in some random town and he would they'd be in Indiana somewhere and he'd go, "It's not like down at Gypsy's Diner on I-4," and everyone goes, "Ah!" And it's clearly you just went on. You saw an episode. You could see him
take out his guitar and see the town name on the back of it.
There's a few times where it looks like he's looking at the back of the microphone. All right, next match: Cruiserweight Champion Neville versus Akira Tozawa.
Neville's winning. Unfortunately, I like Neville and I like what he's doing for the championship, but I love me some Akira.
Yeah, no, he's really, Japanese Spider-Man, dude. Yeah. He's awesome.
Yes,
I love his stuff. The shorts with the webs.
Yep. I love me some Akira. 205 Live has been extremely good lately. If you've not been watching it, I cannot recommend it enough.
My love for Tajiri was satiated a little bit here with 205, and then he's gone.
Right.
But I feel like they got Tozawa, and it's somewhat the same character. I like what they're doing, honestly, with the Titus O'Neil stuff, despite the fact that I don't really care about Titus O'Neil, but I like what they're doing.
Oh, no. My love for Tajiri is satiated by Asuka.
Oh, okay. See, I want to see some more buzzsaw kicks.
Yeah.
Where he just lines up and All right, next up, tag team champions Sheamu and Cesaro versus the Hardy Boys.
Yes. Well, they're retaining. There's no reason for them to lose the titles, and this will lead down the road to Broken. We're all assuming.
We hope.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like it could. I mean, they've already taken that route with, fortuitous accident of Sheamus kicking Jeff in the face, popping his tooth out to kind of begin the "I broke you."
Exactly.
Even as small as it could have been. So we'll see where they go with it, but it's got to be coming. I think at one point, if we get around towards Mania and Broken hasn't cleared legal status,
at that point,
I at that point think Vince just goes, "You know what? Let him sue us. We're going for it, and you then have to
because
sue
otherwise, what do
WWE.
you? I mean, it's nice that the Hardys are back and they're still good workers and everything. But what is this other than a nostalgia act at that point?
Yeah, and you don't put titles.
And
on
I think we
act.
showed, with the Dudley Boys that unless you have something else to move on to, nostalgia acts die after a little while.
Yeah, it definitely goes away, and I think Matt is tempting us with the delete stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
And every now and then he gets that crazy look in his eyes, and you think like, okay, maybe we're going broken this time, but I think it's really just to keep us interested,
right.
And it's gonna have to happen at one point, or WWE's gonna have to admit that, look, we brought in a little sideshow act, and it's not panning out right.
And again, it's what happened with the Dudley Boys. They brought the Dudley Boys in. They had a solid 2-year run, and then they walked away. And now Bully's doing good work in ROH, and Devon's working backstage.
Setting up the ring. Women's champion Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax, or a possible 6-woman tag match. Either way, we don't really know what's going on yet, and I'm sure we're going to find out on the next Raw. Yeah, it's we all know where it's going.
Alexa Bliss will beat Nia Jax somehow with some shady heel ways, which is fine. My
problem I currently have with the Raw Women's Division is the fact that Nia Jax is there and she isn't the champion, and I don't care how hard you heel on her. It's getting to the point where I can't suspend disbelief much longer.
Right.
Because there's that inevitable time where we're going to see Nia versus Alexa. It has to happen.
Right.
And at that point, there's no way.
It's heel versus heel at that point because you're not turning Nia face. And you're not going to turn Alexa face because she's not a good face.
She's an awful face.
So, yeah. The problem is you have 2 women working heel, 3 really with Emma. Working heel, and
worst heel I've ever seen.
Yeah, and there's a better heel working face, and it bothers the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Sasha is such an amazing
Yeah, Sasha
heel.
needs to be straight up. I mean, the boss gimmick is heel.
It's a heel gimmick.
It's a heel gimmick.
Yeah.
There's no other way to go about this. So that mismanagement of Sasha is really actually killing me. But we will move on to the next match. The Intercontinental Champion Miz versus Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, Jannetty's not winning this one.
No, I think he might. I really think he might.
How do you... This is such a crap pay-per-view. How do you have a title change on it?
To give it some reverence, I guess, and it feels like they're trying to build Miz to 10 to get him over Jericho for some reason.
No.
I don't really know what they're doing here, but I honestly think he might lose it to Ambrose. They're really working the Maurice angle right now pretty hard, that she might go split up from him, and this could be the thing where she slaps him into a dirty deeds or shots him or something to that effect.
Well, now he's got Axel and Bo with him.
Absolutely. Okay.
Oh yeah, no,
I'm very happy you brought this up because I love that's what they've been doing.
It's great, and I think honestly that's another reason why he's not going to lose it, because he's going to be the figurehead and he's going to have the 2 of them behind him as a stable, and I think it might get a push for Axel and Bo, which I'm a huge fan of.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I've been saying since I got back into wrestling, and having gone back to watch the Bo Dallas Championship run in NXT, which is phenomenal matches. And then to see him kind of, I had that weird fast forward because I never saw anything in between of him on the main roster.
Not doing anything.
I believe in Bo, and I'm like, how did that guy?
That was the knock against NXT champions for the longest time, because with the exception of Seth, they really just kind of stagnated. Big E, Neville, Bo, they just never really went anywhere. I think they finally broke it with obviously Neville going into the Cruiserweight division helped, but I think they finally broke it with Finn.
Yeah, Finn.
And Sammy. And Sammy stagnated too.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about that.
Oh, that's a whole other... Woof. So, no, on this one, though, I really think we might see a title change. This might just be the only title change, but we'll see going forward. Next match is going to be Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt.
And Seth wins because Bray loses. That's
all the
what Bray
time.
does.
All the time. So now the issue I
disgusting.
actually have with Bray more than anything, going back to me getting back into wrestling, there was a weird time where WWE roster talent was showing up in NXT and vice versa, and there was a lot of mixing of rosters. it looked like Bray was so strong. I start watching it, and this dude loses like every match he's in.
Yep.
Like, what the hell do I care about him?
Yeah, and we were just watching a video where they were going over interesting facts about a pay-per-view, and one of the interesting facts is the Undertaker was not pinned for 3 years on television.
Mm-hmm.
And
it was
if you're
make
making
it
Bray your new face of fear, you can't have him lose all the time.
Yeah,
you just
absolutely.
can't.
Well, in this case, what we're
It's not
talking
much to
about
fear
is,
if you know that he's just going to lose.
Yeah, we're talking about, I believe it was King of the Ring 96, Mabel's win, and how they that was King Mabel actually pinned the Undertaker in the first round.
That was used as a momentum builder.
It was there to build momentum, but even then, you still didn't buy it. It was still the Undertaker versus Viscera.
Right. So
who the hell cares?
Basically, what it comes down to is, there are guys who they think don't need belts or don't need wins because they're just that good. Mm-hmm. And Bray is one of those guys, unfortunately.
I wonder how that worked out for guys like Papa Shango.
Right. Well, no, and again, I don't think it was
just
for
go back.
Papa Shango. I think, that was back in the day. I'm saying in this current stage, this is how they look at guys like Bray and like Sammy, mm-hmm. and like, they don't need belts. And it's like,
well, I was going more towards he had such a heavy gimmick,
right? Or
that you don't really
character. Right?
Yeah, you don't put a belt on a super gimmick like that usually. Yeah. And I feel like that's what we're looking at with Bray. He won the title and then immediately drops it to Randy Orton.
Yeah,
it just didn't. I was actually happy when that happened, and then I see this happen. It just didn't make any sense. It actually, I believe that's the night we said our first. But why?
Exactly. But why?
But why?
And the subject of this, but why? Bray Wyatt's career. But
why?
Why? He is.
I still go back to they should have put Bo with Bray years ago and put him in the Wyatt family, mm-hmm. real brothers. You would have something there. I truthfully thought that's where they were going with him.
Right.
Because he was starting to get the straggly hair and he's going a little crazy and he was growing his beard out and stuff. So I really thought that's where they were going to go. And then they just totally, they put him with The Miz, which I still absolutely love. Just as long as they don't nerd him out and
he's going to, him and Axel, I think, are going to get a little push on it, which I'm a huge fan of because I like both of those guys.
Next match, ambulance match. Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman. I mean, someone's got to win this thing.
I guess.
All right, so I mean, do we have?
What's the point of an ambulance match? Like, do they have to drive away in the ambulance? And do they have to have a special driver's license for that? Is that how they get past it? Roman Reigns can't win because he doesn't have that special driver's license?
The way the match begins, instead of them coming down to their songs, they're at the DMV taking the test. So, all right. I honestly looking forward to SummerSlam. I think we're going to see Brock versus Roman. We kind of have to see this sooner or later.
At least that's one of us looking forward to SummerSlam.
I'm looking for it's one of my favorite events of the year, but I know what this one's going to entail this time around. So I think Roman goes over in this match, mm-hmm. And does something to the effect of like driving the ambulance into a lake or something, or like a nearby river or whatever.
I have to say, so Roman's promo at the beginning of Raw last week was very, very good because he's smart and he understands that he can work a crowd. Much like The Rock could work a crowd when he was a heel, but people
I just want to say something first. If you ever compare The Rock to Roman Reigns again, I'll punch you dead in the face.
So getting back to what I was saying, they're both Samoan.
That is where the similarities end.
But they could, they both knew how to work a crowd, mm-hmm. even though they're not supposed to be doing that, and it's good. But it would have been so much better if he's just a heel. Don't do this half-faced John Cena thing with him. He's not John Cena.
It doesn't work. He's not John Cena. He's not Stone Cold. He's not going to work in the gray matter. He's.
It's got to be black or white. Yeah. And if it was black and white, it would make this feud so much better because then you can make Braun that much of the bigger heel, and he's like, oh, he's beating the crap.
It's going to be bad. So, next up, and finally, Bork versus Samoa Joe.
Oh, Samoa Joe gets fed to the monster.
That is what we're looking at here. I think, unfortunately, we're going to see Samoa Joe being fed to Brock Lesnar. to kind of legitimize him a little more, just to show that he at least defended this title once, and then he's going to go on to drop it to Roman. I have the feeling that I hear some people saying it isn't going to happen until Mania. They're not keeping the belt on Bork for that long. It's why, so we could see it 2 more times.
Yeah.
At the Royal Rumble at Survivor Series, and that's
I have a question for you. Where's Finn Balor?
Not anywhere in here. Yeah, so that is actually something I did want to talk about. We have a few leftovers here, and these leftovers are obviously going to make the matches that we're going to see coming up at SummerSlam.
Right.
Our leftovers being Samoa Joe with the loss,
Yep.
Braun Strowman with the loss, Seth Rollins, and Bray Wyatt are all hanging out there. So my thought in all of this is that we're either going to see a possible 4-way match for a number 1 contender, or we see the match I truly want to see, which is a 3-way between Joe, Seth, and Balor.
I'd sign on for that.
I think if Balor gets in here, it's going to be at SummerSlam in a multi-person match. I think he might come down. He could Demon King out a little bit and do his supernatural appearance in the Bray-Seth match.
Yep.
And then we can see Bray versus Seth versus Braun versus Joe versus Finn in a massive match.
Yeah.
Something good, a ladder match maybe.
Oh my god!
There's so many things you can do with it, but I think Finn gets the Phantom appearance.
I understand that, the first 2 weeks of the build up for this pay-per-view, he was overseas doing promotion and stuff, and that's great. But how are you leaving him off of this crap pay-per-view?
Yeah.
Actually, no, it's good you're leaving him off this crap pay-per-view.
Yeah, don't sully the name. So, that said, we have been 5 Alive, and this was our review of Great Balls of Fire.
I'm so sorry I was negative. I like wrestling. I know it's hard for you to think that.
Ross seems to be an issue. He doesn't like Bird Person.
I know. That is a dick move.
In any culture.
So, follow, like, share, subscribe, and follow us at 5 Alive VP on the Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Goodness gracious!